Alrighty, guys, sorry. My thing muted me again. But okay, the question of the icebreaker is, sorry, apparently my camera is having issues. Sorry, y'all, this is my phone. Why can't I see this? The question is, if you could have anybody, a celebrity, speak at your graduation, who would it be? And I believe when you type it up, it comes in and it looks like a little collage of all of our answers. And if we voted one or more on one certain name, then it would be bigger. So it's cool to see what we have in common. So yeah, go ahead and answer that. I know that the Mentimeter, you can just go to www.menti.com and the code is right on Dominique's screen. Can y'all hear me? I can't see anything. Sorry.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. Sorry. I'm like, what happened? Okay.
Thank you, Jay. I just want to welcome everyone in for the very first time. Thank you for taking your time to be here.
Thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. And yes, thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Dr. Rima Deal, Dr. Kathleen and Zavino, and Dr. Colleen Riley, and Dean Vaselli. I really appreciate every single one of you coming in and, donating your time. I really appreciate it. I think that this is a great way for us to connect with our fellow students. Sorry if you hear my dog in the back, guys. I'm just very excited to be able to, bridge this little gap and hear what y'all have to say. So thank you. Ooh, we have some good little answers. Who put Beyonce and Lady Gaga? Because same.
I have to say Beyonce, keep it in Houston.
Right? I love it. Okay. I had to put Marsha P. Johnson. She's close to me.
I like a little bit of comedy, so I have Jack Black on there.
That's so cool. I love it. Jack Black, yes, School of Rock was a classic. And what was the other one? Nacho Libre. Ichi.
Wait, people typing.
You said what?
Is
There's
there
people
people typing?
I do not see it.
Oh.
Okay. Well, thank you for participating in the icebreaker. It's so cool to see who y'all would have there, and I like that we have a few people in common. Right now, basically, I just want to go to each and every one of us and give us a little bit of an introduction. Just say what, your name is, your major, a little brief bio for them so they can get it to know you. I'll start with me. So hello, y'all. I am Jay Largaspada. I am the president here at Northwest SGA and vice president of United Student Council. I'm 22 years old. I lived here in Houston my whole life, except I went to high school and stuff in Katy, so I just moved, closer into the city, which I love it here. That's why I'm very excited to be going. I go to HCC Spring Branch right now, obviously online. I'm very excited for this semester, and yeah, go ahead, Emerson, it's your turn. This is my VP.
Hello, everyone. My name's Emerson Gomez. I'm currently vice president of Northwest SGA. I'm 19 years old. So I guess I'm the youngest of the group, but it's cool. I love everyone. Such a nice team. I love working with y'all. But yeah, hope to keep going and have a nice year. So nice meeting y'all.
Next.
Hello, I'm sorry. My name's Eugenia Ayala. I am the secretary. This is I've completed 2 years, 4 semesters at HCC already, and I'm going for a degree to transfer over to U of H. And so I just really wanted to join actually, I was a little hesitant at first because I do have kids and I have a lot on my plate. And when I commit to something, I want to see it through and I want to make sure I give it my all. And so I saw that they needed a chair and I decided to help out. And yes, I'm excited for this year. And I love helping other students. I know I needed a lot of help my first year. And so I am excited to reach out to students, especially online students. That's what I've been doing. And so I want to be able to work on something to be able to reach out to the online students, communicate, get together, and involve them a little more. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christy. I am treasurer of Northwest. I'm a second round college student, so I'm older than guys, but I cannot tell you how much I've learned from them already. I'm a business major at HCC. I'm hoping to get eventually my bachelor's at U of H. And I ran because I wanted to both mentor other students with my life experience and learn from, the new generation. They've really opened my eyes to a whole new perspective. So I thank them. But I will turn it over to Mel now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mel Zandrick. I am an international student from the Philippines, but I grew up mostly in Singapore. This is my third semester now in HCC. I'm actually currently on campus. That's why I'm wearing a mask, if y'all were wondering. And yeah, I'm the humanitarian. I'm a big advocate for community involvement, and I felt that that position was best suited for me to fulfill my advocacy. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it over now to is Leo here or Alejandro.
Yes, I'll take over. Hi, y'all. How's it going? Good afternoon. My name is Alejandro. I am a business major. Right now, I'm taking online courses, but I started off at A-Leaf Hayes. It is my last year, so super excited to be able to transfer, hopefully, to UHD for their human resources program. A little about me. I decided to join because of the huge focus on inclusion and diversity. As a queer Mexican man, I thought, what a better way to represent such a diverse student body than to be part of SGA, right? And so that's why I'm here, and I'm super excited to do some great work along with the rest of y'all. And we do also have Leo with us. He is not here physically, but he is also one of our other officers. So thank you for letting us introduce ourselves. I would love now to take the time to introduce our panelists. We'd love to start off with Dr. Adil, if that's okay with everybody.
All right. What a wonderful group of students here, student leaders. So very proud of you all. My name is Rima Adil, Dr. Rima Adil. I'm a Dean of Students for Northwest College. And I'm sure you all know that our service area or campuses are Spring Branch, Katy, A-Leaf Hayes, and A-Leaf Bissonnet.
So I guess we should turn the field to Dr. Vino. I'm sorry, I'm butchering the name. Not real good with last names.
Good morning or afternoon, everybody. I'm Kathy Anzavino, Dr. A. A lot of the students just call me Dr. A, and then they don't have to worry about figuring out how to spell that name. But I've been at HCC since 2014, had the pleasure of serving as your Dean of Student Success for a few years, and then transitioned over to the College Operations Officer role. In that role, I work on the facilities, so all the campus managers report up through me, and work on all the fiscal resources, the finances for the campus, and then whatever project Dr. Hodges puts on my plate. So I've got the extreme honor of having a lead role in the new Katy campus project. You can see an aerial, hopefully in the background there, of the new campus that's going up. And maybe we'll get a chance, or there'll be a question or two about that new campus I can talk more about later. So glad to be here.
Zavino, I'm so excited to hear about the Katy campus. You know, that's where I went to high school and all, so I pass by it like all the time. So very excited to hear that. Next up, we have Dr. Colleen Riley. So go ahead and introduce yourself, please, ma'am.
Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to be here today. So thank you for inviting me. I'm Dr. Colleen Riley. I'm the Dean of Media, Visual and Performing Arts, the COE formerly known as Visual and Performing Arts. And prior to that, we also had programs in Media, Arts, and Technology. So now we've united the Magnificent Seven under Media, Visual, and Performing Arts. So it's art, dance, drama, music, audio recording technology, filmmaking, and music business. So we've always been at Northwest, but we offer courses across the system. And I like to go as Dean Colleen.
Thank you, Dean Colleen. I love hearing that because I forgot to mention, I am in the music business, audio engineering. Yes. I produce beats and I am doing the specialization with songwriting, so I'm very excited to learn more about what you do, and I definitely can't wait to hear you speak more.
Can't wait for the opportunity to meet you in person.
Yes, me too. I'm so excited for that, and I just hope to be able to have that soon, you know? But thank you, Dean. And next up, we have Dean Vaselli.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the Dean of the Engineering Center of Excellence. Our offices are on the 4th floor of the A-Leaf building, but we are a district-wide, system-wide program, so we're on the 7 major campuses across the district. Spent most of my life in industry. Started out with NASA and worked in the energy sector and lots of different things. Degrees are in electrical engineering, biomedical engineering, and systems engineering. But I worked my way through college as a trumpet player and a singer, so I really want Colleen's job. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the event today, and we'll try to answer any questions that I can.
I really appreciate that. And yes, I love it. Trumpet. I was a clarinet little player, so love that. Next up, we are going to have the questions. We have the predetermined questions. I hope y'all got that out. I'm pretty sure y'all did. Dominique never fails. So we want to start it with Dr. Rima Adil, and we do have a question for you from Emerson. So.
Hello, nice to meet you, Dr. Adil. Name's Emerson. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can. Yeah. Okay. So the question here is, what programs in the future will be implemented to increase student transfer rate?
Emerson, that's a great question. Currently, there is a lot of focus on transfer and transfer programs, and some dedicated effort on students who like to transfer from HCC. So some of the things that we are doing, there is a committee that is developed to dedicate efforts just on transfers. They started the committee last week, and actually they're meeting again today. It is not one of those projects that goes on and on without answers, but they are getting ready to do something quickly. Most likely we will see some efforts coming as a result of that committee meeting. Some of the things that they are looking at is dedicated support to transfer when students are transferring from here to other institutions, clear articulations, and getting some assistance at the other universities, partnering universities, so students have a clear path to when they are ready to transfer. But in the meantime that all of this is taking shape, I recommend, if there are students who need help, just continue to go visit with your assigned advisors, and they should be there to assist you as much as they can. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rima. I really appreciate that. And that definitely does answer a lot. I know a lot of us are definitely really, really interested in transferring, or even just going for a different thing, you know, and making that transfer process easier. So I appreciate that. The next one we have is from Christy. So almost done, sorry. And sorry that my dog is in the back again. He needs to have the attention on him.
Hi, Dr. Adi. Our question, or my question is, there's a lot of chat on some of the Facebook groups regarding issues with when and how to apply for graduation, how to get your certificates, and basically what's the process? If you could answer that for some students.
Christy, that is a good question because I'm getting some of these questions from our fellow deans and staff as well. There is a fall graduation ceremony commencement coming up that is being planned. So as far as the question when to apply, students can apply throughout the year whenever it is, whenever you feel you are ready. Just visit with an advisor, do a graduation audit, apply for the appropriate semester when you anticipate to complete. So applying for graduation is one process. And I don't think that they have released the dates, but the commencements committee, they met yesterday. And I think the tentative date for the commencement is December 15th or 16th. And as they iron out some of these details, they are going to start putting some deadlines on it. But if there are students who are anticipating graduating this fall, just go ahead and apply for graduation now. This is the best time because it kind of slowed down with all that registration and everything. So if you visit with an advisor, they're in a good position to do a detailed graduation audit and help you apply. And there was another question. Yes. So when can you get your diploma posted or certificate posted on your transcript? So commencement is totally different and awarding of the diploma is something different. So once you apply and all your grades are posted, it takes about 4 weeks to get the diploma or credential posted on your transcript. From there, you all can just request your transcript as needed. The summer transcripts are being, summer diplomas are being mailed tomorrow. So those are students who graduated during the summer, these diplomas are being mailed tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you for that information. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Christy. And next up, I really appreciate your time, Miss Rima, because there's so much that we wanted clarified, and you definitely went into detail with that and hit it on the nail on the head. Look at me. Next up, we have Dr. Kathleen Anzavino, and the first question we have is going to be, like, from Leo, but Eugenia, you wanted to do it, you said? Do you want me to drop it in the chat too?
Sorry, I forget it mutes. Okay, Dr. Ansavino, the question is, there are still some students that feel uncomfortable going back to face-to-face classes. Why did HCC decide to fully reopen with the current COVID numbers rising and with the new Delta variant? Will there be any options like hybrid for students who have health risk or have loved ones with health risk?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. The ever-changing COVID situation. So a couple of things. Students, we feel, had the option. We think we made it clear that our intent was to bring classes back at some point. So our hope is that students who had concerns, whether they have their own health risks or they live with somebody who has risks, high risks, that they would have chosen the online modalities from the get-go. So most of our classes now are offered both face-to-face and online. So the thought is that students who felt the need to stay virtual would have chosen online on a schedule or online anytime when they registered for classes. So students who chose a hybrid, which requires that they come to campus at least one class period a week, or chose face-to-face, those students will have to come back. That instruction will be done face-to-face, okay? Now, if students become ill or they come in contact with COVID, we do have a protocol, and really we could defer this question over to Dean Riley or Dean Vaselli on exactly how faculty have been trained to be sensitive to what's going on with students if they become sick or are exposed. We reduced all of our class sizes to 18, primarily to 18 for those classes that were typically 24 or 32. Those classes have been reduced to 18, so the classrooms won't be as full. This will allow students to do the 9 or 6 feet, 3 or 6 feet distance accordingly. We've got sanitation stations set up. When you walk in, you can pick up a package of wipes and you can wipe down your area. You can, all over campus, you can take a pump of hand sanitizer and be careful not to push down too hard, because then you have 2 handfuls of hand sanitizer. So we feel like we are providing a safe environment for students to come back. We are trying to respond to the best teaching methodologies, and students learn differently. And we have found that there's some classes that you just can't get the essence of the class, some of our labs, etc. It's very challenging to deliver that teaching virtually. And then we have different styles of learning. So even though, some students learn better online, but a lot of our students feel like they learn better face-to-face. And so we feel like it's important that we bring our classes back, but we think we've taken steps to minimize risk.
Appreciate you answering that. And yes, every time I go to the school, there is all the sanitation wipes and all that. And I'm always like, ooh, gloves, you have the wipes, you have the hand sanitizer, there's masks. So I do feel safe whenever I do go there. So I appreciate you answering that for the rest of the people, Another
Let me just say, I'm glad you're using it.
Oh, trust me, I am.
And you really want to. Am I echoing?
You're.
Oh, good. Okay.
It only echoes under Jay. You have to mute when you're not talking and someone else is talking, because it's echoing in your background. But I muted you for now, Jay. Go ahead, Dr. A.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can't emphasize enough that we all, students, faculty, and staff, take personal responsibility. We are encouraging masks. Our governor says we can't require it, but we are encouraging everybody who comes to campus to go ahead and wear a mask. The data shows that's one of the best preventative steps that you can take. I know it's hard. You guys are missing each other and you want to be in these tight groups studying, and you want to go into the smallest space we have and cram as many of you in there. But we really want you all to come to campus, but we want y'all to use some guidelines and self-monitor yourself. We're not going to be the distant police. We're not coming around with a ruler and measuring, are you 6 feet apart? Are you 3 feet apart? We want you all to take that responsibility on your own. And I would hope that the leaders on this chat will help model the kind of behavior that we want on campus.
Agreed. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We do have one more last question from you and for you, sorry, and it is going to be from Mel. So Mel, I'm going to mute myself now. Sorry about the echo, y'all.
Thank you, Jay, and hello, Dr. Anzavino. My question is actually related to the background you have behind you. Many students, including all of us here, are excited about the new Katy campus. And I was just wondering, what can we expect with the new Katy campus? If you can you give us some insights on what resources and facilities will be made available to the students? And yeah, that's my question.
Okay, I'm very honored to have that question on my list, because any of our panelists could answer this question. And it is Dr. Hodges had a last minute conflict that, he couldn't be here because he would really like to answer this. But we really are, we have high expectations for the new Katy campus. We have had a lot of meetings about the culture. We're hoping to set up the precedent for a highly engaged campus. We are looking for the faculty who teach at that campus to offer a lot of project-based learning opportunities, and that the faculty become very familiar with all of the resources available at the campus, and then use those resources in their curriculum on the campus. But we're talking about the first floor experience. Second and third floor is going to look like a typical, probably classroom building. Second and third floor are all of our classrooms, our science labs are up on the third floor. But we're talking about this first floor experience where we're going to have a maker space. We're going to have a art and design open lab. We're going to have the learning commons. This is not something we've had. We have it at WHI on a smaller scale, but we're going to be introducing this term, learning commons, and inside the learning commons will be the library, the traditional library. It'll be the open computer lab, and it will be our academic success center, the tutoring. We're going to be asking faculty during their office hours to be down and mingling with the students and talking to the students. We're talking about bringing speakers in and to talk about job opportunities, to talk about real life experiences. All of our what we call distributed space, the hallways, have been designed to allow students to, hopefully post-COVID, to allow you all to meet in your small groups. And we've got whiteboards everywhere where you can work on projects, group projects together, where faculty could come out and say, oh, what are y'all working on? And could jump up on that whiteboard and engage with you all on whatever it is you're working on. Dr. Adil could talk, I could defer to her to talk about student services. We're going to have truly a one-stop shop for students. It's not going to be, oh, you need to go to this office, or you need to go to that office, or down the hall and around the corner, or up the elevator over here. Financial aid, continuing education, ESL, and our traditional advising is all going to be housed in one area when you walk in the door, and you're truly going to be able to get help no matter what your concern is. So a brand new testing center. Poor Katy has got, oh my gosh, I can't even believe that we test in that environment there at Katy, the current Katy campus, but they're going to have just a beautiful testing center. So our onboarding students who need to take the TSI, or students who have accommodations for testing, or even faculty who agree to a makeup test, we're all going to be able to serve the students well in that. But it's going to be a culture. Dr. Hodges would tell you it's a culture. You're going to want to be on that campus. So even though you have a hybrid class and you're only coming once a week, you're going to come every day because the resources are going to be there for you to be engaged and for your learning. Dr. Hodges calls it learning happens everywhere. And I'll end with this. We've got a huge detention pond in the back of the campus, and we're even hoping to have an outdoor learning space using this detention pond. So lots of exciting things going on.
That is so exciting. That blew my mind actually, and I really appreciate that. I've had a lot of I've been to college before HCC at other smaller places, and that was the idea they had. But like you said, the culture wasn't there. The people weren't communicating or being as friendly. The professors were not there to help, you know? So I'm envisioning this, and it's so beautiful to me, and I'm very, very excited. So thank you so much for, talking about that. I'm really, really excited for that. And I think what you put into it is what you're going to get out. And if you're there every day going and talking to whoever you need to talk to, there's no way that you're not going to be successful, and y'all have set us up for that so easily. And it's so cool to think of that. You thought every little detail out, because for me, honestly, in the past, that was a big thing that would bring me like a lot of anxiety. Like if I had to go to another class somewhere else, or they sent me away from, let's say, advising or enrollment, and I had to go to a different space, that was already like too much. What if I have to go to work? I was expecting to just go right here down the hall, so that makes all the difference. You never know what a student is going through, and I appreciate you thinking through every little scenario and having that ready for us. I really do. So thank you, and thank you for your time. Next up, I have a question. Yay, I'm finally getting to ask a question for Dr. Colleen Riley, which is good. Sorry, my dog is literally opening the door to come in and say hi. Okay, y'all, sorry about that. Okay, my question is, how do you plan to ensure quality teaching across all the disciplines offered here?
Well, it starts with my own division, and I take this responsibility very seriously. I see it as my primary responsibility. Teaching and learning is at the center of as many conversations as I can have at HCC. I came from a faculty background in my previous institution, Slippery Rock University in Pennsylvania. I was tenured. That institution is known as a teaching college. So I, bring a lot of interest and passion about teaching here. And then I hit the jackpot because I have, the creative, innovative faculty of media, visual, and performing arts. We are really active as a learning community. The program committees meet on a monthly basis. They review curriculum. They've gone through accreditations. HCC is the only institution in Houston that has the institutional accreditation by the National Association of Schools of Art and Design. So filmmaking and studio art share that accreditation with fashion design, fashion merchandising, interior design, digital communication, digital gaming, and simulation. So we're all accredited as a unit. We're pursuing the same accreditation for our music programs next. So music business, and audio recording technology are doing extensive work to meet and exceed the national standards so that we can apply for the accreditation. And those standards are set by higher education and industry across the United States. So those are, really significant and rigorous standards that our faculty are dedicated to meeting. And we're closing a gap that was already very small. We have extraordinary faculty at HCC. We also have a lot of pedagogical conversations throughout the year. We talk about signature pedagogy, which is teaching about how to be successful in the discipline. So modeling what it means to be a songwriter, modeling what it means to be a filmmaker, making sure that we're representing the professions in our teaching. We talk a lot about digital pedagogy, especially since the spring of 2020. And this year we're focusing on mixed modalities because we're being really intentional about what does it mean to teach our disciplines online? What does it mean to offer this instruction synchronously or asynchronously? What are the experiences that we are creating for our students in their project-based learning? So we're very persistent. We constantly talk about teaching and learning. We have peer observations, so the faculty are talking to each other. The chairs of the divisions are outstanding, and they really focus the work of the faculty on what happens in the classroom. We attend annual rigor summits. The faculty go out to conferences and present. They represent us in the Texas Art Association, the College Art Association. So we're part of much larger conversations. So we really keep teaching and learning at the heart of what we're doing. We model that for other faculty across the institution. We have great collaborations. Would love to see some more collaboration with engineering, because I know that Dean Vasselli and I are like-minded in the way that our faculty can approach their work. So we just keep it at the center of what we're here to do. We also, sorry, I should mention, because it came up in Dr. Adil's conversation about transfer, we're very active in the Houston Guided Pathways, which is intentionally looking at 2-year programs transferring into 4-year programs. We've seen that our curriculum fits seamlessly into these 4-year programs, and we're doing the groundwork to make sure that we are meeting those standards, that our students can transfer seamlessly, that the 4-year schools recognize the quality of our instruction and our curriculum. So we're not experiencing any kind of ongoing transfer concerns. So that's how we spend the majority of our time.
Really appreciate that. And yes, it's so cool to learn about your teaching background, and I'm honored to have somebody that's so knowledgeable in that area, because it makes the whole difference. That's what we are, a school, so the teaching environment has to be a certain way. And it's funny that you mentioned the fact, actually Dr. Anzavino was talking about how some classes you cannot take them in person. I mean, online, it's not the same essence as in person, So I have to shout out your faculty members. You've been doing an amazing job modeling it to them, because one of my professors, actually, Dr. Glenn Ackerman, he's my songwriting and my fundamentals of music production professor. He, like I showed y'all earlier, I was having a little difficulties on my new computer, right? And we have all of our programs here. And I had mentioned that, and he rewards you for being engaged in class, because like I said, it can be not boring, but you're not getting the same feel that if you were right next to them in person, having like the jam out sesh that you're supposed to, So I had brought up that fact, like, hey, I'm having some difficulties with my computer, and he went above and beyond and actually is giving me a piece of equipment to use here at home to help for the class, because we all have to do certain nerdy stuff with the audio equipment. So he literally went out of his way to give me a piece of audio equipment just for being active in his class. And my mom is a teacher, so she actually has been voicing that to me lately. Like, I feel like I'm talking to a wall, like nobody is engaging with me. I feel like I'm not doing enough. So I try to turn the tables and kind of give my professors and give my team that energy that I would appreciate, and I've just seen how rewarding it can be. So thank you for being you, because that helps everybody else down the line know how to model for their students, and there's a lot of stuff that gets done. There's a lot of people quitting right now just because of the COVID nightmare, and so the fact that you're going above and beyond and modeling things like that, it really does make the difference, and it also helps us feel like we're a community. I came from Lone Star, and shout out to y'all, because it was so easy to transfer here from Lone Star. Like, that was a dream, and I had not had that before. And then after that, I forgot what I was gonna say. I just had a major point, y'all. Sorry. Basically, y'all. Oh, that at Lone Star, I'm not trying to talk bad about another place, but we're Houston. We have a whole culture that is worldly known. Artists are singing about our culture. Drake is wearing Texas like jackets in his Instagram post. You know, like we are such a huge culture hub, and it's so cool to see that around. And I feel like HCC models that so well. You walk in and it's diverse. Everybody talks to everybody, and that's how it is. At other universities, it's not like that. And I feel like it's because of how y'all engage with us as students. Y'all treat us with respect, and y'all actually take the time of day to listen to what our concern is, or hey, I want this to be better, and you'll actually do the work to be better. So thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, thank you for complimenting Professor Ackerman. He is fantastic. Like so many of our faculty. You know, they make my job easy because they're already working so hard and they're very student centered. So it's nice to hear that. And anytime anyone wants to say something nice about my faculty, my door is open. And if you need to come and talk to me about a more serious issue, my door is also open. But I love hearing about the ways the faculty are going above and beyond because they expect that of each other.
Question. I'm sorry that we're taking so long. It's just such great conversations. But Alejandro, you want to ask the second question for us, please, hon?
Yes, sorry about that. Hi, Dean Colleen. Thank you so much again for being here with us. I think my question is, you mentioned some courses throughout your introduction and just now, and a lot of them are very exciting, right? And traditionally hands-on, right? We have things like dance and arts, things like that. So with that being said, right, when we're looking at COVID still being here and still trying to get excited about going back in person, what are some updates that students should be aware of that are happening in the classroom so that they're still excited to join these courses, but that they know that health and safety is at the forefront of everything we do for them?
Well, I think the first step that we took, and this happened very early on, was just being mindful of what modalities paired best with the kind of instruction that we needed to offer. And so we've consistently offered our classes in hybrid instruction, which has given us a little flexibility as circumstances change. The chairs and I have walked through with campus management, and Dr. Anzavino was so supportive of us here at Northwest and opened doors for us system-wide to make sure that we could make recommendations about social distancing in our studio spaces, which are not set up like traditional classrooms. So we're practicing social distancing. We've done some rearrangement. We have some plexiglass screens in place. We've talked to the faculty about some teaching changes that can be made, especially when we are in situations with close contact, like our dance program where there are actually bodies moving in spaces. We've taped out dance squares in our studios. Our voice and instrumental classes are obviously a concern because of transmission. So we've been intentional about putting those in the largest, most ventilated spaces possible. Faculty have access to specialized singing masks, which mitigate the aerosol of speaking and singing. And we've gone to the best practices of the professional organizations in theater, in music, in dance, and looked at their recommendation and have developed protocols for our classes, but also for our performances, which will return slowly this fall semester, and we hope in the spring we'll be able to bring them back when we have just more comfort with the protocols and feel safe having audiences socially distanced in our spaces. So we did a walkthrough last November. We did another walkthrough in March. We did another walkthrough in the summer. We asked the faculty what they felt like they needed in those spaces. And we're, just been very conscientious about encouraging everyone to take the SOAR Safe pledge, because as Dr. Anzavino said, this is a lot about personal responsibility. We tried to use the first weeks of this semester when we were online to develop communities in our classes so that, students could bring concerns forward and there could be some problem solving that we could do before we go back to campus. So, we are looking at open studios by appointment, staggering people in the building. We've got really good support from our production managers and our studio manager and our lab assistants and lab aides to keep everyone as safe as possible.
I appreciate you answering that. Thank you so much. And yes, I have seen that. Well, I haven't really seen the studio things. I'm hoping now that I can go on class soon that my singing labs will be, cool. That mask, you blew my mind with that. That's really cool. I do have, and thank you for your time, Dr. Riley. I really appreciate you. And I will definitely be reaching out. And Dr. John Vaselli, we have a huge question for you. Sorry we've taken so long, guys. These conversations have been so good, and I'm getting so much information, and it's so easy to connect with y'all. So thank y'all for being, how y'all are. Y'all have a great personality and a great energy, and I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so Dean Vaselli, based on the feedback that we have received from the students, they are struggling in the virtual environment. What are some of the resources that the engineering department has provided to ensure student success?
Sure. So first of all, let me say, if you were to look at our offerings before COVID, we never offered any online courses. We don't offer 5-week courses in the summer. They're 8 or 10 weeks, right? So we know because our courses are difficult, that we always preferred face-to-face. So when COVID hit, it was a real challenge. The other thing is, that we like project-based learning, hands-on. We put students in teams. So our subjects are hard to learn when you're sitting in the classroom and can engage face-to-face, and the instructor can stand over your shoulder and help you. So it is a challenge, and it's a challenge for the instructor. It's a challenge for the student. I've got a good internet system, and it still drops out and it freezes, and so now you can't hear and you can't speak. So it's a real challenge, right? What we have done is we have a combination of technology and instructors changing their methods. We post via Canvas. We post an enormous amount of extra material, which includes links to videos. A lot of students, will go to another website and listen to some instructor explain something in a slightly different way. Our instructors try to log in early and stay online after the classes are over to be able to engage students. From the very beginning, none of our courses were asynchronous. They were all online on a schedule because we know engagement is critically important. And so we wanted the instructor there in real time to be able to interact with the students and answer questions. We've been very understanding in terms of students that have had issues with technology or, assignments going in late or missing classes or something to try to accommodate all of those problems. The bottom line is that we can't wait to be back in the classroom. It's just a different dynamic. And if you look at it from the standpoint of the instructor, there are classes where students are logged in, but you ask them to answer a question in the chat and they don't respond. You ask them a question verbally, they don't respond. You don't know if they've logged in and fallen asleep, or you just don't know, And so it's a challenge, and and that's all I can say. I've been looking at the performance of our students, and we see a depression in grades. We track A's, B's, and C's, and failures and withdrawals and that sort of thing. We know our students are struggling because we're seeing grades slip. And that's a combination of it's harder to teach and it's harder to learn. There's just no question about it. So, I've told other people that know I'm in academia, I say, we've got a lost year. For a lot of students, just imagine students in middle school or kindergarten students, or or students or parents that don't know aren't computer savvy. The challenges that the last year and a half have posed. We've tried very hard to not lose any ground. We've tried very hard to keep our students moving through. A year ago, our enrollment was down. This fall, our enrollment is up. And we've had record enrollment in our engineering academies, both our U of H Academy, our Texas A&M Academy, a record enrollment for our own associate's degree. Most people don't realize that our engineering program started in the spring of 2012. There were 46 students that said they wanted to be engineers back then. Today, it's over 2,000. And every year we have more than 200 students transitioning to an upper division program and complete their degree. So we've had very good success in terms of graduation rates for our students. And it's because we've tried to retain as much as we could quality, consistency, and rigor in our program. We've tried not to lower the bar on testing and other things, and we know it's very difficult to give a test nowadays. Kids can go on Chegg and other places and cheat, and the good student doesn't cheat, the cheater cheats, right? And trying to prevent that, trying to catch that, putting up a deterrent in terms of the penalties associated with being caught cheating. The reason we have the unique partnerships that we have with the University of Houston and Texas A&M and UT Tyler is that their deans tell us that our transfer students have as high a success rate, if not slightly higher, than their four-year students. That's a credit not just to our engineering courses, it's a credit to the math department, the physics department, the chemistry department. If we don't keep the quality and the rigor of our programs, even during hard times, then we'll have students that will transfer and fail. And we wouldn't have these partnerships if that was a high percentage. So we're trying to walk a fine line between maintaining the rigor and the quality while recognizing that it's harder for everybody. We do have, in terms of specifics, in addition to the instructors trying to spend extra time, there is tutoring in all the engineering subjects that's offered on various campuses. I think all the courses have tutoring at A-Leaf, and then it gets spotty at other locations. I try to promote a culture in which, not only is my door always open, but the instructors, will try to bend over backwards to try to help everyone. But the truth of the matter is we can't wait till this thing's over, right? And we know it's harder for everyone. And all I can say is hang in there. I try every semester to send a note out to all the students, and I always end it by saying, remember, engineers get the job done no matter what. And whether it's duct tape on an Apollo mission or working in cohort teams. And I guess that's the other thing I should mention. We strongly advocate students studying together. We try to even schedule them in the same classes so they get to know each other. It's extremely difficult to get through an engineering program alone. If you get a homework assignment, I may know how to do problem one and you may know how to do problem two, and we teach each other and we learn from each other. And every study shows that students that study and work in cohorts actually perform much better and succeed more. So we're doing everything we can, and yet I have to admit to you all that these are difficult times, and we're hoping come spring that things will be better. As we move forward, and we're working on, Colleen and I are working on the schedules right now, we intend to continue to offer some of our courses online, but they will all be hybrid. So we're going to migrate. We never were asynchronous, but now we're going to migrate from online on a schedule to some degree of hybrid, so that we can bring students in for projects and presentations and quite frankly, testing, right? And so that's the way we're going. And all I can say is it can only get better, right? It can only get easier.
Dr. Vaselli, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of the SGA Northwest Board. I, for one, have experienced multiple technical difficulties in the virtual world, not only myself, as well as having a special needs son. So I can appreciate, the other students and what they're going through. Also, as an engineering wife, I know that you guys do the best of your ability. And I wanted to thank you for your time and appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, our engineering students take the hardest courses at HCC. Calculus 1, 2, and 3, differential equations, university physics 1 and 2, chemistry 1 and 2. I mean, these courses are tough, even when you're in the classroom. So, that's why we try to do the best we can without lowering the bar very much, because you still got to be successful when you transition to a major university.
Challenging, yes, but the most difficult classes at HCC, you and I are going to follow up on that, Dean Vaselli.
All right. Well, I would say violin and oboe, actually, but so.
Now you're talking.
I appreciate y'all so much. And it was such a good and successful little reverse town hall we've had. And I feel so connected with y'all. And I love that, because a lot of the times I didn't feel like the administrators were really caring. I felt like, oh, they're just here to like divert all the work to somebody else, and then they're just off doing some other stuff. But y'all are very knowledgeable, and I can see that y'all have your feet in it and y'all are hands in it and y'all are working on it like there, so I really, really appreciate it. Oh, sorry, I just saw somebody chat, but it was from earlier. But thank you so much for your time, and it was, like I said, just an honor to be here, and honor to serve y'all and to be y'all's board here at Northwest SGA. And I want to take some time to thank Dominique as well. She's been a great advisor, and obviously y'all have taught her what she's doing. So thank you, Dominique, for being awesome, and you are there when we need you and you get things done. So thank you so much. And I appreciate every single one of you for y'all's time. Do y'all want to say anything else? Everybody else, give a little rundown.
It ain't easy, but it's worth it, right?
No, it really is. But other than that, I will let y'all go, guys. Thank y'all so much for a successful, like I said, reverse town hall. And I'll be sure, I hope this was recording, and I'll be sure to send it out to the students so they can look at it. I know y'all answered the questions perfectly, so thank you so much.
Well, thank you all for your service in representing the students.
It was a great session, and thank you all. It's good to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you,
Everybody
everyone.
stay safe and
Wear your mask and wash your hands.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.